These kill zombies. Well, zombie cells. Okay, hay fever and allergic rhinitis. They're pretty rubbish, aren't they? Let's face it. I'm laughing, of course, and for some of you that do suffer this, an allergic reaction throughout the year, I really pity you because I know how draining it can be. I'm very lucky in that my hay fever over the years, and I've had it since year dot, has certainly decreased. And I now get it maybe 2 or 3 weeks of each year around June. My problem is that my life would be far simpler if it weren't for the fact that I put myself in the firing line, because 1 or 2 days a week I do a gardening job, more of a labouring job really. I chop, I dig holes, and I trim grass and I cut hedges. And of course, it's always at this time of the year that a client will say, could you trim my big garden or trim yada yada the field? And so I'm often therefore just totally in the firing line. Pollen is all around me, and even though I'm wearing masks or glasses, I still get affected by it. When in the real depths of a hay fever experience, you really are half the person you were the day before. You have no energy, eye streaming, nose streaming, foggy mind, you feel dizzy. You certainly, if it happens and you're trying to work in front of a computer, you're thinking, I'm never going to be able to get this day done, because you can't work at the speed or pace that you're used to. So it's really frustrating. I know too that this video may be a little bit late for some, because there will be many out there like me that get hay fever around June. So this will be a protocol to start thinking about for next year. Quercetin is what we're talking about here. Quercetin is a natural molecule, if you don't know, and it's found in foods like apples, red onions, broccoli, kale, etc. And herein lies, I think, a really important point. For most of my life, I've always had the belief that you don't need to supplement. In other words, I truly believed that you should be able to get everything you need from good quality fruit, vegetable, meat. However, I now believe, because of my own research, that isn't necessarily possible because of the depletion in our soils of the normal nutrients and minerals that have just disappeared. I know, therefore, that it's quite likely that even if I eat good food that has quercetin in it, that I will probably still need to supplement. I'm not getting enough, and it's the same with a lot of other minerals and vitamins. The other thing I should point out, of course, is that I'm not medically trained. I'm not a doctor. Whatever advice I give to you right now is purely based on my own research, my assumption, and my experience. If you follow my journey from the beginning, then you know that that's what this channel is all about. It's all about me having experienced a bang to the head, a bit of a wake-up call, the very next day realizing, hang on a minute, I need to be a better husband and father. I need to be a better human being. I want to optimize my physical and mental health. And thereby, I then dove straight into cold therapy, learned breath work, became qualified in various different practices. Everything that I learn, I pass on to you. Back to quercetin. One of the reasons why quercetin works for reactions, allergic reactions, is that it stabilizes the membranes in the mast cells. Mast cells are the cells that are active when anything new comes into the system or is present in the system. So it's the first cell that reacts to the cold or a certain food stuff that you're eating, or in this case, histamine. And so mast cells and their membranes will be the thing that produce histamine in the body, wrongly, of course, like all autoimmune, because let's lump hay fever and allergic reactions into this autoimmune condition that most people have in some shape or form. So what quercetin does is it stabilizes those membranes and therefore eases the release of that histamine. Here is my experience of quercetin, in that it did not get rid of my hay fever symptoms. Let me first say that. But what it did do is significantly dampen the symptoms. It dampened the experience. Also, let me also state, I didn't start taking this as early as I should have done. So I think for, like all supplements, you need time for it to get into the system and to start working. And I didn't start taking this until it suddenly clicked. And it was probably about a week before my symptoms. I probably should have started taking it 2 or 3 weeks before. So initially I didn't really see much effect, but when in the depths of this silly scenario where I'm basically just having a shower of pollen, then I did find that by increasing my dose of this throughout the day had an effect on reducing those symptoms. Now, in terms of dosages, from what I've read, normally experts state about 1,000 milligrams a day max. I will admit to taking more than that. So I was taking these, by the way, are from NMN Bio. They come with vitamin C. Vitamin C helps with the absorption of quercetin, and they come in 250 milligrams. So I was quite often taking 2 of these every 2 or 3 hours. So I know a couple of days I definitely upped it to about 2,000 milligrams. Again, I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying that's what I did, and I had a positive experience during the 2 or 3 weeks of this hay fever season that I experienced. Here's some other benefits, by the way, of quercetin. You may have heard, if you are in the biohacking world, of something called senescent cells or zombie cells. Now, throughout our body, we have cells that are continually, if they're healthy, dividing, replicating, etc., etc. And senescent cells are the cells that stop dividing and start to produce inflammatory signals. And what happens is that they send these signals out to other cells that are normally quite healthy, and these cells then take those signals and they become another senescent cell, which is probably why they're called zombie cells, because these zombie cells start producing more zombie cells. And when you get more zombie cells, you then start suffering from some form of disease. In fact, rheumatoid arthritis is one of those diseases that is linked to this increase in zombie cells. These kill zombies, well, zombie cells. So that is a reason to increase your dose of quercetin. And another reason is that quercetin removes free radicals. Free radicals are the things that damage your cells. So there we are. It is certainly a detoxifier, but most importantly for this video, it definitely works as a means of providing antihistamine support. I did read actually on WebMD that there are apparently studies to suggest that you can take quercetin along with your medications for, or antihistamines, normal pharmaceutical antihistamines, and that there's been some positive results there where individuals have shown that actually this has helped to improve the symptoms. So there we are. Anyway, I hope that helps. It's very interesting for me. Next year, I'm going to make sure, damn sure, that I start taking this earlier. And I'll also be looking at other potential supplements as well that might aid in the prevention of my feeling pretty rubbish when I'm streaming or even working in front of a computer. Thank you for watching. More videos to come. As a last point, I've put a lot more energy elsewhere in social media over the last few weeks. Therefore, there have been less videos on YouTube. I am going to do a live. And we've decided through talking to you on the community, the live video will be about how to make breathwork a part of your daily routine. So in other words, how to spread different methods across the day, making use of breathwork to keep your energy levels high, to keep your mind in a clear state. So we will do a live video on that. So stand by for that live. I'm not too sure when it will be, but it will be very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Evolution of Dave out.